students. This is your teacher, Daphne Daniel A. Ganadas, along with my co-teacher, Teacher Disani, Teacher Mahajiran, and Teacher Carpio. And we are the Group 7. So in a line to the causative variables and language acquisition, for number 3, I will continue to discuss the exposure variables. According to what we've learned, there isn't a variation in the language acquisition process itself. However, there is a variation in how much and how quickly someone can acquire a language. This is heavily influenced by exposure variables. And essentially, exposure variables refers to the rate and extent of language acquisition. So these are directly related to the amount of comprehensible input a learner receives and the strength of their effective filter. Now let's break that down. Comprehensible input is language that learners can understand even if it's slightly above their current level. So think of it as I plus 1, where I is the learner's current proficiency. This I plus 1 input pushes learners to expand their understanding. So the more comprehensible input you receive, the faster and the more thoroughly you'll acquire the language. This input can come from various sources, such as textbooks, conversations, movies, and more. Affective filter. The affective filter is your emotional state during learning. A low or weak filter allow more input to get in. So when you are relaxed, motivated, and confident, you are more receptive to learning. So conversely, a high or strong filter blocks input. So anxiety, stress, and lack of confidence hinder acquisition. That would be all for my topic. And now let's talk about monitor users. So these are learners who continuously use their language to correct their language output. So there are three main types which will be discussed by teacher Disan.
Hi everyone, my name is Nadia Lorraine Gindisani, and today I'm going to talk about the three types of monitor users according to Stephen Krashen's monitor hypothesis. These are the overusers, underusers, and optimal users. So let's get started. First, we have the overusers. These are people who monitor their speech all the time. They're always checking if their grammar is right. This usually happens with learners around 16 years old or high school students who are still very conscious about making mistakes. They often speak with hesitation and correct themselves in the middle of talking. For example, I went to a store yesterday. They mean well, but because they focus too much on rules, they sometimes lose their flow. Next are underusers. These are usually younger learners, like 10 years old, who just speak naturally without thinking about grammar. They rely only on what they've picked up from listening and talking, and they don't really correct themselves, even if they make mistakes. For example, he go to school every day. They just keep talking without realizing anything's wrong. Finally, we have optimal users. These are usually young adults, around 20 years old, who already know when to use the monitor and when to just speak naturally. They use grammar rules only when needed, when there's enough time and it won't interrupt communication. For example, oh, I mean has gone to the market. They make small corrections to sound more accurate, but they still speak smoothly. To sum it up, overusers monitor too much. Underusers monitor too little, and optimal users do it just right. Understanding these types helps us know how we learn and use language better. That's all for my topic.
Good day everyone, my name is Fatima Shedra bin Muhajran and I'm the third discussant. Miss Disani had already discussed about the three types of monitor users and now I will discuss the age. Age as a factor in second language acquisition. It covers popular assumption, influences, and research findings. So, when we say popular assumption, it is commonly believed that younger learners are better at second language acquisition than older learners. Factors influenced by age. First, the amount of comprehensible input obtained. Second is the affective state of the learners. The third factor influenced by age is the strength of the affective filter after puberty tends to increase. Learning differences. Younger learners potentially acquire more than older learners. Older learners excel in studying language form and using learned knowledge in monitoring. Now, let's proceed to the research generalization by Krashen, Long, and Sarcella, 1979. I won't read the visual aid, you just read it and I'll explain it. Number 1, adult progress through early stages of second language development faster than children, given constant time and exposure. Number 2, older children acquire languages faster than younger children, with time and exposure held constant. The last one acquires benefit from natural exposure to second language. That would be all for my part, and the next discussion will be Mr. JC Carpio.
Good day to each and everyone. My name is Joel Carpio from BSET English 2A. Hello everyone. The topic that I'll be discussing is all about the acculturation, which the provided text can be simplified into the following main points. According to Brown 1980, acculturation is the process of becoming adapted to a new culture. And also according to Maxwell 2002, acculturation is the process whereby the attitudes and or behavior of people from one culture are modified as a result of contact with different culture. As you can see, both of them, acculturation is all about the process where a person's attitudes and behaviors change as a result of coming into contact with different culture. Essentially, it means adapting to a new cultural environment. Additionally, according to Schumann 1978, acculturation has hypothesized that acculturation is the major causal variable in the second language acquisition. It means that acculturation and the language, it has the process on which it is considered a major factor in learning the second language. There is a type 1 acculturation. The learner is socially integrated with the TL group and as a result, develop sufficient contact with TL speakers to enable him to acquire the TL. In addition, he is psychologically open to the TL such that input to which he is exposed becomes intake. The acculturation, it has a learner mixes. Well, with speakers of the new language, it is open to learning it, which helps them acquire the language. The type 2 acculturation has all the characteristics of type 1, but in this case, the learner regards the TL speakers as a reference group whose lifestyle and values the consciously or unconsciously desires to adopt. Both types of acculturation are sufficient too. The two-type acculturation, it includes all the elements of type 1, but the learner also wants to adopt this lifestyle and values of the new language speakers, Actually, there are both types are enough for language acquisition.